Joining me right now is Gamco Investors Chairman and CEO Mario Gabelli. And Mario, it is great to have you this morning. I hope you're doing well throughout this COVID world. You haven't been here in a bit. How are you doing?
Terrific. Good to see and hear from you and talk about my favorite subject, which is investing in capital markets in the United States and around the world, Maria.
Would you invest today, Mario, given these valuations? We know that this market has been on fire, even though we got a mixed opening this morning. We're talking about record highs consistently year to date.
Great question. We look at companies with a microscope. Yesterday, Schmuckers reported their numbers in part driven by Folgers Coffee. Simple as that. Earnings estimates of $8.30. The stock was $110. 15 times next year's earnings would make the stock $150 with $114 million, a well-managed U.S. company. Yeah, we look at that. Secondly, Maria, when we step back, what are the things that we need to understand? Obviously, tomorrow morning you'll hear it at 7:10 from Powell. But then we look at a telescope. Okay, what's the world going to look like a year from now? Should our clients be investing in companies? And the answer is yes. But near term, Maria, near term, in about 15 days, an Arrowhead Stadium, Kansas City Chiefs are opening sports in football with an attendance of 20,000. How is that going to work? What does that mean for the entire sports ecosystem? Then what companies want to buy other companies, and what multiple are they paying relative to the public prices? We saw several individuals buying businesses recently. And that underscores the value of specific stocks. And then on top of that, you have financial engineering. Company A spins off a company. For example, Barry Diller spun off from InteractiveMatch.com, and now he's bought a piece of MGM. What's he thinking about? How's he doing that? How's he positioning his company, again, for accelerated growth? What is John Malone doing, merging Company A with Company B? What is he doing with financial engineering? So that's what we look at with a microscope, look at current earnings. From a telescope, we think earnings are going to be quite robust in 2021. Easy comparisons in the second quarter. The market is discounting that. We have, obviously, gross margins being narrower. We have SG&A. Then we have to worry about in 69 days what happens to taxes for 2021. What do we do in terms of bringing jobs back to the United States with regards to the tax structure and things like that? So on balance, we'd be very selective, but we're also buying where we like. And you'll see my 13D filings on several companies this week alone.
So, Mario, in terms of the backdrop, I know you're looking at it with a microscope in terms of specific companies, but the backdrop also needs to be favorable for you. Do you think that the economy will strengthen year-end? You said that earnings will be quite robust. We are just coming off of that contraction in the second quarter. How are we going to get out of this for corporations?
Well, look, Maria, from a point of view of tops-down fiscal stimulation, we know we need an infrastructure bill, long neglected. All we have to do is have a bridge collapse and some people die, and we can blame the political system of saying, where is that infrastructure bill? Roads. The Fix America Surface Transportation Act has to be renewed. So what companies benefit for that? We have a list. Things like Herc Rentals, United Rentals, things like Grace Construction Products. Those companies will do extremely well. Automobile production. There's no cars on new car dealer shelves. That coming back over the next 4 quarters, not the next 4 weeks, but the next 4 quarters. That's going to stimulate jobs in Michigan. It's going to stimulate jobs in the rest of the country. In addition to autos, housing. Where are the houses? How do we accelerate that? Interest rates are low. People are saying, I want to own a home. Where can I buy it? What's the right price? And how does that help companies like Lennar, where I want to buy the voting stock at a 15-point discount from the non-voting, where I want to buy companies in the manufactured housing business like Capco and Skyline and Legacy? And so there's a lot to be done based on that. So I'm reasonably positive. Obviously, we'll stay tuned to what you had before I got on, the political world, for the next 69 days, thinking about where and how do we position taxes and how do we position regulation for the next 5 years.
Because it is a different positioning, right? I mean, if Donald Trump stays in and gets reelected, he's going to cut taxes, cut deregulation. That's a very different argument than if Joe Biden gets in and raises the corporate tax rate, raises taxes by $4 trillion. How do you position yourself differently, given you're not sure what the outcome is?
No, we've lived through a lot of changes over the last 100 years, and the stock market will live through a lot in the next 100 years. As long as capitalism allows money to flow to its highest rate of return, and companies can make dumb mistakes by making acquisitions or brilliant strategies by doing spin-offs and financial engineering and doing deals, we should do okay. The speculations in the market, obviously, you know about Robinhood. You know, somebody's going to come out and do a more friendly version of Robinhood. They'll call it Friar Tuck. And in addition to that, but I went through this, Maria, the day traders in the 1960s, individuals would watch the tape, what happened in 1987 when Leland O'Brien went out and said, we'll sell you insurance against the market decline, 1999, 2000. So the markets go up and down. But on balance, over the next 10 years, being an investor in American and owned good businesses run by good people, and we have plenty of those, that's going to be a sound way to maintain capital.
And by the way, Mario, I know you look at deals a lot. You just mentioned some mergers. Has the merger activity picked up despite COVID, despite the shutdown as a result of the pandemic? What kind of activity are you seeing?
That's a great question as well. You've had deals done through a new form of financial engineering called Special Purpose Acquisition Corps, and there's a pipeline full of those. The secondly, private equity is going to come back and do transactions. Third, even in the entertainment and leisure business, what happens? Who's going to have content? Streaming music, Spotify. How do you supply Spotify? Who benefits from that? What do you do with regards to filmed entertainment with Netflix? Who's got the content? How does Viacom survive in this environment of flourish?
Yeah.
So that's what we look at.
All good questions, Mario. Great to see you this morning, sir. Thanks so much. Don't be a stranger. Mario Gabelli.
Yeah, love our planet, and love to be with you too, Maria. Thank you.